Hey everybody, it's Thursday, April 2nd. I don't know if you can see, but I'm wearing my Brookville Theater shirt in honor of the fact that today is supposed to be the opening of 42nd Street. And I'm super sad that you guys are not going to get to perform, those of you who are in theater, but I'm hopeful that the show will go on in some way. We're continuing today with March Madness in April. And so we are going to vote on Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas and Death Be Not Proud by John Donne. The other thing that I want you to do today, and you can just mark this for yourself, there's nowhere that you have to turn it in just yet. But I want you to look for a passage that's one page to no more than 2 pages in the road that you think has the most significance for the novel, or the most to dig into as far as what McCarthy reveals through the use of language there. So kind of keep this question in mind. How does McCarthy use whatever it is, imagery or the importance of the setting or the complexity of the relationship that he's revealing and the dialogue between the man and the boy to reveal something significant in that passage. So you probably or may already have a passage marked, but just make a note of that and then we will continue with that tomorrow. So there's not a whole lot. If you didn't already, go ahead and make sure that you participate in our discussion also in the shared doc, because today's the day that is due. A lot of you, maybe most of you, have already completed that and commented on one another's responses. So finish that up if you haven't had a chance to already. This is what our bracket is looking like right now. As I'm recording this, I don't have enough votes to reveal a clear winner here in this bracket from yesterday. It's looking like a story maybe is going to be the winner, but I'm going to hold out because there's still a few more hours left in this day, and so I want to make sure that everybody has a chance to vote. And then we'll determine today's winners. We'll have one more pairing in our final four. No, I'm sorry, this is not the final four. This is the Elite Eight. I said that wrong before. And then we'll be down to our final four at that point. Here's our first contender for today. Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night by Dylan Thomas. Do not go gentle into that good night. Old age should burn and rave at close of day. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Though wise men at their end know dark is right, because their words had forked no lightning, they do not go gentle into that good night. Good men, the last wave by, crying how bright their frail deeds might have danced in a green bay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. Wild men who caught and sang the sun in flight, and learned too late they grieved it on its way. Do not go gentle into that good night. Grave men near death who see with blinding sight. Blind eyes could blaze like meteors and be gay. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. And you, my Father, there on the sad height, curse, bless me now with your fierce tears, I pray. Do not go gentle into that good night. Rage, rage against the dying of the light. I don't think we really talked about in class how this poem is like not necessarily the answer, but a really good pairing with a story, because that is the father's perspective. And then here we have much later on, I know these poems aren't written necessarily in companion with one another, but Here we have what could be the son's answer later on in life. So that's interesting to look at. And then we have Death Be Not Proud by John Donne. This is a sonnet. I don't know if you watched the video that College Board produced last week, or several of the videos were talking about the sonnet form. We didn't actually get to sonnets as far as looking at the form this year. In 10th grade, we looked at the sonnet form before reading Julius Caesar. And we were getting ready to do that again before we went to see Much Ado About Nothing. But 14-line poem has a definite rhyme scheme. You'll notice there are places where there are kind of definite shifts, and then it ends with rhyming couplet, although you'll notice that this one is sort of a slant rhyme and not an exact rhyme. Death be not proud, though some have called thee mighty and dreadful, for thou art not so. For those whom thou think'st thou dost overthrow, die not, poor Death, nor yet canst thou kill me. From rest and sleep, which but thy pictures be, much pleasure. Then from thee much more must flow, and soonest our best men with thee do go. Rest of their bones and souls' delivery. Thou art slave to fate, chance, kings, and desperate men, and dost with poison, war, and sickness swell, and poppy or charms can make us sleep as well. And better than thy stroke, why swell'st thou then? One short sleep past, we wake eternally, and death shall be no more. Death, thou shalt die. So interesting to look at what the speaker says about death and how it is not eternal and it is not the end. Quite the opposite, in fact. Decide which one of these two you think deserves to move to the next round, and consider the tone of each poem, and then write that full theme statement for the winner that you, in your opinion. I have office hours today, 2 o'clock until 2:50. Join me if you want to pop in and ask questions or just catch up. I did have to reinstall the password because you probably know that lots of Zoom meetings are being hacked, and so we don't need any of that. I've had a request to maybe make a weekly meeting where we all try to come in at the same time, so I'm considering how we can make that work in our schedule too. And let me know if you have any input about what might be a good time for that. I hope you have a great Thursday. I'll see you soon.